Hello and welcome to the next episode of 6 Feet Together, the show where I ask questions to gain perspective and understanding. Today joining me is Miss Claire Warch. She has her bachelor's degree in English, she has her Juris Doctorate, and she has her master's degree in forensic psychology. Thank you so much for joining us today. My question for you, Claire, is a question that's absolutely perfect for this show because you are my sister. And we could not be more different because I am very athletically minded and you are very much so an intellect. And you and I both deal with the same problem, but just a completely separate world. We're both very hard on ourselves, but in different aspects. So Rodney Mullen, he's a famous skateboarder, he once said that having too much praise can have the weight of a tombstone. So how do you feel that you deal with failure? Do you think it's harder or easier? And do you think that having that expectation of success weighs on you heavily?
Definitely do. I think the expectations that you put on yourself is that you want to be the best, and you put a lot of pressure to give the best results every time, which can be really hard on you mentally, thinking about, am I going to be the best, am I going to do the best? And then if you do have a failure or a setback, which may not even actually be a failure, it's a learning experience or it's a mistake, I do feel that I could be a lot harder on myself, but I need to remember that it's an experience that you can use to learn and grow and to get better. But you do have that constant pressure of feeling that you let people down and you let yourself down.
Mm-hmm. So how do you deal with failure then? When something doesn't go your way, when you prepare for something for so long and it doesn't turn out the way that you expect, what are your logical next steps in your mind?
I think the next steps are to look at what happened in the process that you didn't get the results that you wanted and how you can learn and grow from those mistakes and to get better and to think of ways that you can approach problems differently depending on what the problem is and ways to learn from it and either not let it happen again or to grow from it or to set your ego aside maybe and say, okay, I'm not perfect, but no one expects me to be except for myself, and that's a really hard thing to remember for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I think problem solving is huge too, especially for somebody with 3 degrees. I mean, you've been presented with so many different problems between your bachelor's, your Juris Doctorate, and your master's. What do you think was either the biggest thing that you learned or the hardest problem that you had to learn to overcome?
Well, I guess I have answers to both of them. So the biggest thing that I learned is that you can't let expectations of yourself make you scared or hold you back. Mm-hmm. Because when I first started law school, I thought in the first day, everyone here is so smart, and what if I'm not smart enough? What if I'm not good enough to do this? But I was, and I graduated, and I was in the top 10% of my class, and you just have to believe in yourself enough to know that you are good enough and not let your fear or your self-expectations that I'm not going to be good enough or not good as these other people hold you back from what you want to do.
I think I completely understand that because when I go into, when I was a competitive athlete, there's that thought of perfection. And you're just waiting for that first mistake, and once you make that first mistake, it's all fine. But the anticipation before that mistake is you just demand perfection, and you don't want to stop at anything less than that.
Exactly, and then that's the learning experience to either not make it again or to see that it's okay to make a mistake. That's how we learn, and you can't let it hold you back or let the fear of failure keep you from pursuing something that you want to do or you want to try.
Yeah. Well, Claire, thank you so much for joining me today. I know it was a far drive for you guys to come down here, but I had a great weekend seeing you, and I really appreciate you being on the show, and I know my kids are going to appreciate it as well. So thank you so much, and have a good day.
You too.
Thanks.